lived. I'm a culture shaper.
Can you genuinely expect God to bless a situation where he didn't sanction it? Now, we've talked about this a few times, is that you're asking for God's blessing on your life where he had no say-so in what the steps you were taking were going to be, right? And that does not take away from God's sovereignty or his providential nature, but God does offer limits to his providential power by choice, right?
Mm-hmm.
We talk about his perfect will versus his conditional will versus his allowed will. Like he allows you to do things. Okay. Though it may not have been in God's perfect will, he, of course, still is in control of all things, yet he gave human dominion over the earth. So we therefore do have the ability and the free will to make choices. When you choose to use your free will to shack up with that dude, to shack up with that girl, to move in, you have excommunicated yourself from the natural ordained order that God established for marriage. So you have taken the steps to follow, you have taken the steps to get to the outcome of marriage without following the proper order. When you are out of order, you are out of alignment with God. God is the God of decency and order. God is the God of decency and
Order.
So when you're out of order, you are no longer in alignment with Christ. And if you're no longer in alignment with Christ, you have chosen to remove yourself from the promises that he's given you, for one, regarding that. Okay? So let's talk about like the promises. If we know that marriage is, which it is, marriage is a God-ordained covenant. Okay? It's protected by God. That means that man cheat on you, you marry that man cheat on you, gonna burn. He gonna burn and itch.
Ooh.
He gonna be scratching.
Burn and itch?
And itch.
That sounds like
you ever had both?
No.
Really? I thought we all did before.
No.
Mm.
No.
Mm.
Yeah.
Cut that part out.
Leave it in for my doctor, bro.
Nah.
Second opinion.
Nah. And I don't mean that like literally like, oh yeah, he cheated on you, now he gonna literally catch an STD. But what I'm saying is that God will protect the covenant. And justice is owed. Now, where is justice not owed? When you and that dude was shacking up hunching with no ring on it, y'all both was sinning. So now he chose to go cheat on you. God's not protecting that.
Yeah. So y'all was out of alignment anyway.
Y'all was out of alignment. And I feel like that is the main danger of cohabitation, is that you set yourself up to be hurt, that when another person chooses to live their life how they want to, they have the full right to do that. It's not protected by God.
Yeah.
What is marriage? How does one get married?
That's a good question.
What do you think?
I mean, back then, when Jesus turned water to wine, there was a whole big old celebration. Families come together, they do the whole ceremony, and then boom, you're married. Back then, it was like almost arranged, kind of, sort of. But nowadays, we kind of freely choose. Through the Christian, I guess, pathway, we kind of have our own little system. So where it's, I guess, church predicated, if that makes sense. You find the person you leave and cleave, and then through counseling and through prayer, then you guys can come together and be married, I guess.
So how did we go from? So here's a conversation that I had before. Was, since I feel like we're gonna just be open about it. A conversation that I've had before was, well, we could just be married. So we are.
Yeah, you just say it. What's stopping me from being like, okay, I want to marry her. I want to marry her. I want to marry him. So we can be married. And be like, we want to get married. Is that how it works?
Genuine question, right? And I feel like a lot of people have this question. Answer is no. By definition, biblically mandated marriage comes from a public declaration and following a legal framework. So if there is no legal framework that has been followed and no public declaration of marriage union, right? And in the Christian culture, we want to see it being, um, 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 we want to see you guys married through a minister, right? In the public declaration. That is the definition of marriage.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like that's actually important because the question you just asked, I think is very important. And that same conversation, and honestly, I know it's a real question, and it's like no shade because I thought the same thing. But then I look back like, so then how is it that we talked about like we're married for real, and then now you decided you don't want to do that no more, so you just left? Who's gonna stop you?
Not the church. They didn't even know about it.
Not the church, not
Not your pastor.
not the justice system,
Not the justice
not the
system at
courts.
all.
I'm not getting half of nothing, even though you was
No.
broke. I'm not getting half of nothing. I'm not getting half of your nothing.
There's nothing.
And this Negro, I'm not getting half of your nothing, and I'm not getting it. It's not protected by God.
Yeah. Whoops.
Mm.
Whoops, my bad.
Dangerous
You're bad.
of cohabitation. You can step outside of his order and survive, but you're not covered. You're navigating without his GPS. So can you drive without a GPS?
Yeah,
Yes.
you can drive all over the place.
Is it advisable? Maybe,
If you know where you're going.
if you know where you're going.
If you know where you're going.
How long can you drive and know where you're going?
Yeah.
My answer would be not very long. Let's really talk about the GPS. If the Lord is our GPS, right? You can only drive so long without knowing. You can only drive so long and know where you're going. And where can you go without a GPS? To the places you've already been. So can you navigate without God? Can you navigate without a GPS? Yes. But you're most like, let's start over. Can you navigate without God? Yes. Can you navigate without a GPS? Yes. But you're most likely to just end up back in the same places that you left already. The longer you navigate without following God, the longer you navigate without a GPS, without following the coordinates or the given direction in your life, the more times you will keep going back to the same places you had already been. And I don't know about anybody else's life, but I know about me. I don't want to repeat what I've already done.
Exactly.
I don't want to go back to where I've already been. Where I went and I came through, I want to leave from there. But the longer that I stay out of alignment with God, the longer that I deny his will, that I go against where he's trying to tell me to go, the more times I will repeat my same past mistakes. The more times I will go back to the bad places that I know I should not have been. And I will go back to doing the bad habits that I had no business doing in the first place because I'm not following the new places that God is trying to take. You cannot go old places, or sorry, you cannot go new places following old directions. My God. That's a word. You're not going new places following old directions.
So
Yeah.
true. It's so true. You have a map.
Mm-hmm.
It's right there.
Mm-hmm. So the word is that you can be in the wrong and still make it work. You just won't be covered. Surviving and thriving are not the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
You can survive, okay? You're not going to thrive.
Yeah. What's the definition of survive? Living.
And you're only going to do that for so long. You can only do that for so long. The psalmist said, like a deer panting for the stream or panting for water. It's like, that's how we thirst for Christ. So we thirst for the concept of God himself. It's like, even if you don't know God, that's why atheists long for that thing, for that. That's
For
why
something.
now
Whatever
we're
it is.
like, the most common belief is agnostic. I believe in something. I don't really care for religion. I don't really care for what it is, but I believe in, I mean, there's probably something out there. It's because we all know in our hearts that there's something.
Mm-hmm.
There's something. We're yearning for something, right? We're
Yeah.
longing for something. So that's why the psalmist said we thirst for him like a deer panting, right?
Mm-hmm.